processing. It may get to the floor, it may not get to the floor, just like any other motion. And no decision had been made on the conduct of the CS Treasury. A decision of that nature is made pursuant to a motion, which motion has not found its way to the House.
Very well. Speaker, the request we are making is just the process of approval should be faster than what we're witnessing.
Honorable Senator, the chair knows how to handle these matters. You simply put in your motion and await. Well
guided, Speaker.
Thank you. Is the CS gender in the House? Now, honorable senators, let us not waste time on this matter. Let us get down to business. Senator Wambua, you have had a chance to speak on this particular issue. I have directed on how this matter is going to be handled. Let's leave it there. So let us dispense with these two questions. Then maybe, time allowing, I'll give you an opportunity to continue with your clarifications. Clerk, do we have the CS gender present? Good. Now, honorable senators, we do have the CS gender in the House. Senator Mundegi, you do not exchange directly with your colleague. If you have any issue, you know exactly what to do. Now, the CS is here to respond to questions number 50 and 76. Number 50 is a question by Senator Catherine Muma. Now, honorable CS, welcome to the Senate. Since this is your first time appearing before this House and I believe Parliament, I will guide you on the procedure that we ordinarily follow during this question time. Now, the senator who has a question will rise to ask the question. Thereafter, I will ask you to respond to the question. Once you're done responding to the question, the senator who rose to ask the question will have a chance to ask you 2 supplementary questions. Now, the supplementary questions must be related to the primary questions that you'll have responded to. Thereafter, all the other senators will be at liberty to ask further supplementary questions. I will be guiding you when I feel that a question that has been asked by a senator is not a supplementary question. I'll be guiding you on whether you're in a position to respond to it. If you're not in a position to respond to it because you're not prepared and it's not related to the primary question, that you will not be under any obligation to respond to it now. However, you may undertake at some later date to supply written response to a question that you feel is not a supplementary question in its nature, but it's important that it be responded to. I will now ask Senator Catherine Muma to ask question number 50.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity to ask this question. Honorable CS, you are welcome to the Senate, and congratulations for going through the processes of being appointed, and the women of Kenya looking up to you to help move the step on matters gender ahead. My question is question number 50, and the question is as follows. A, how has the Women Enterprise Fund performed in providing affordable and accessible loans since digitization of the exercise initiated, as was initiated in 2023? And could the Cabinet Secretary provide data per county on 1, the number of women groups and individuals who have benefited since inception of the new system; 2, the increase in the disbursement of loans to chamas or small and medium scale enterprises over the last 2 financial years; 3, the increase in the onboarding of new charmers into the fund's database since the inception of the digital system, and 4, number of groups that have dropped out of the fund due to challenges they encountered during onboarding in the new system, and what the ministry is doing to restore them. B, what measures is the ministry taking to address concerns regarding the punitive decision of scrapping credit scores for groups that had built their credit scores over the years dating back to long before the digitization of the fund? And C, what is the ministry doing to ensure that women entrepreneurs who wish to do businesses out of charmers are not discriminated against when it comes to accessing Women Enterprise Fund loans? Thank you.
Honorable CS, you may now proceed to respond.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I'll go straight to answering the question. The question has been asked, and so, Honorable Speaker, I will respond to question A. Honorable Speaker, the fund changed its lending business model to digital from January 2023, following a presidential directive. The digital loan system went live on 1st January 2023, allowing women groups to opt into on *254# without a requirement of pre-funding criteria, except to having a Safaricom line. The initial phase was pilot, which ran till 16 September 2023. Then it was halted due to unprecedented loan default rate. Through this model, the fund had disbursed Kenya shillings 941,901,105 Kenya shillings to 18,955 women groups. And I shall be inviting the House to look at Annexure 1, which has the data. The data on the annexure puts together all the counties, the digital loans given as per the counties, the groups, the amount, and the loan balance. And if you look at that, the groups are 18,955, the amount is 941,705,755. The loan balance, as at September 2024, is 695,672,783. It is detailed as per the county, and you can see the groups and how much was given and how much has been paid back, and the balance thereof. Number 2, or bullet 2, on that question is increase in the disbursement of loans to charmers, small and medium-scale enterprises, SMSEs, over the last 2 financial years. Honorable Speaker, following the digital lending challenges experienced, the Fund's Advisory Board, through the Cabinet Secretary, made a formal request to revert back to manual lending. His Excellency the President, through a communication from the Head of Public Service, reference SHGM Volume 1, dated 17 September 2024, granted the approval to revert back to manual lending through bankers' RIAM system. Since the resumption of the lending, the fund has disbursed 457 million 400,000 to 1,180 groups, benefiting 12,538 members under the revised Constituency Women Enterprise Scheme, CWES, lending channel C Annexure 2. The Annexure 2 is there at the back. That is again as per the counties. There's 47 counties of Kenya. So, and the groups, the number of members, and the approved amount is tabulated there very clearly. Number 3, in answering your question, Honorable Member, increase in the onboarding of new chairmans into the funds database since the inception of the digital system. Honorable Speaker, the digital lending product was halted barely 3 months after rollout, hence not much data was collected to facilitate onboarding growth analysis. 4, number of groups that have dropped out of the fund due to the challenges they encountered during the onboarding into the new system and what the ministry is doing to restore them. Honorable Speaker, the fund had lent to 136,499 groups since inception, but only 18,955 had borrowed under the digital loan product. For the three, the product was on amounts, for the three was on the offer. Presumably, the rest of 1,117,544 groups had opted out due to the limiting loan amounts and shorter repayment period. However, upon reversion to the manual lending model, all groups with good repayment history have been able to express their interest in borrowing, resulting to disbursement of Kenya shillings 457,400,000 to 1,180 groups in the last 4 months. So the measures that the ministry is taking to address the concerns punitive decision of scrapping the credit scores. In answering that question, Honorable Member and Speaker, following the reversion to the manual lending model in December 2024, the fund has acknowledged the valid concerns raised by long-standing women groups regarding the loss of credit history and scores built over several years, particularly prior to the digitization phase. In response, the following strategic measures and policy interventions are being undertaken. 1, restoration and integration of historical credit records. The fund has integrated historical loan performance data from pre-digitization and digital records into the banker's RIM system. This aims to ensure that groups with strong repayment histories are recognized and rewarded through improved loan access, faster approvals, and ability to reinstate previous loan limits. 2, reinstatement of loan graduation. The fund has reinstated the tiered lending structure, allowing groups to progress based on their historical performance. Groups that had advanced to higher cycles before the digitization of the lending are being reassessed and reinstated to their previous cycles. The third intervention is targeted vetting and fast-tracking for legacy groups. Legacy groups with established track records are being fast-tracked through manual verification, including physical vetting by credit assistants to restore their access to credit without penalization. Number 4, stakeholder communication. A structured communication and engagement strategy has been initiated to inform groups of their options. There is more sensitization at constituency and county levels on the reinstated manual lending model. Number 5, policy review. The fund has documented lessons learned from digitization and endeavors to strengthen future transitions to safeguard borrower records and institutionalize credit score protection policies moving forward. C, the question is, what is the ministry doing to ensure that women entrepreneurs who wish to do business outside of chamas are not discriminated against when it comes to assessing web loans? Honorable Speaker, the fund is aware that not all women prefer or are able to operate within the group chama structures and is taking deliberate steps to expand financial inclusion by creating more flexible, individualized access products. The following measures are being implemented. 1, introduction of individual loan products. The ministry, through Women Enterprise Fund, has developed individual loan products tailored to meet the needs of women entrepreneurs who operate outside group chama models. These products will consider business registration or proof of income instead of group guarantees, scalable limits based on individual payment capacity, and customized training and financial literacy support. The products have been approved in the credit policy and will be rolled out progressively in the next financial year, subject to availability of funds. 2, policy framework to expand beyond group lending. The credit policy has been reviewed to diversify WEF's lending portfolio beyond the traditional group-based constituency women enterprise schemes model. This new framework will incorporate hybrid lending structures, including business loans, agricultural loans, and asset financing loans. The third intervention in that group, in that question, is capacity building for individual entrepreneurs. The fund is expanding its training programs to cover individual women business owners. These include modules on business management, record keeping, and loan application readiness, and transitioning from informal to formal entrepreneurship. Strategic partnership with financial institutions. Women Enterprise Fund is engaging banks, savings and credit organization circles to co-design individual credit products that are accessible, affordable, and scalable for women. This partnership also allows for shared risk and improved loan management infrastructure. 5, stakeholder consultation and feedback mechanisms. Regular public participation forums and stakeholder engagement sessions are being held to understand the evolving needs of women entrepreneurs. Feedback is being used to inform the development of inclusive products. Honorable Speaker, the fund is committed to eliminating structural barriers to credit for all women, whether in groups or as individuals, by broadening its approach and product range. Women Enterprise Fund is transforming into a more inclusive and responsive fund aligned with the diverse realities of Kenyan women entrepreneurs. Honorable Speaker, so that is the response to that question number 050, and as guided by your, I'm now seeking your guidance whether we have answered question number 50.
Yes.
Yes.
So, Honorable CS, you may take your seat. I will now allow Senator Muma to ask 2 supplementary questions.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and thank you, Honorable CS, for the responses. Clearly, I think there is a lot that's happening around WEF that has potential, and I think we will be engaging a lot more in order for us to be able to advise women around this fund. My first supplementary question is hinged on the fact that economies are going digital, and I would want to know why the digitization exercise did not go well in regard to this particular fund? Secondly, I would like to know what is the highest amount lent and defaulted on, and by whom? Thank you.
Honorable CS, you may proceed to respond.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker and the member, for those two good questions, which informs exactly where we are and the challenges that we were faced. On the first question of why digitalization did not go well, is because of the system, the way it was put. The amount that was being borrowed through the manual lending was a lot. It was 750,000. But when it went digital, it was 50,000, and most members or women did not embrace that. And also the follow-up, because of this, you borrow and there was no way of tracking the repayment of that money. The second question is, which group has the highest amount? From the data that we have, there is a group that is called Pamoja Women Development Program. The amount which was disbursed is a total of 40 million. On 12th of February 2009, they were given 20 million. And on 13th of December 2009, they were given another 20 million. From the data that we have, is that amount is still outstanding. They went to court, and this matter is coming up tomorrow. That is the 3rd of May, and when we shall know the verdict. However, at this point, I would like to usher in the CEO of WEB so that we can get final details as to who are these people. It is important that it is disclosed.
Honorable CS, we, under our standing orders, we can only, your people, your officers, your staff can only communicate through you. You are the only person who can interact with the Senate. So if there's any information you want to share, you can get it from your CEO and make it available to us. But your staff may not have audience before the House.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'm guided. I'll be able to mention the security that is held by Women Enterprise Fund. We have the security held by Moses Karanja Tutha and Isaac Kitau Kamau. And since this is a matter that is before court, we may then wait to get the verdict from court, then thereafter we shall communicate the details. We will be willing.
Very well, Honorable CS. I will now call Senator Wambua to proceed to ask his supplementary question. Senator.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, mine will really not be a question. I just want to make a comment on the response that the CS has brought. First, to begin by congratulating her that, Mr. Speaker, this is a maiden appearance in this House, and truth be told, from where I sit, Mr. Speaker, she has done well for her first appearance in terms of the detail of the question that she has brought to the House.
What is the point of order, Senator Boni?
Mr. Speaker, on the point of relevance, is this question time or time to make comments? The Senator of Kitui has clearly said he has no question, he has a comment. Can he allow members with questions to ask questions, Mr. Speaker?
Under standing order number 1, I will allow him to proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, what I do with my question time is my business. It's not the business of the Senator of Kakamega. as long as the Speaker, I will proceed to make my comment. That I have seen CSs who have appeared before us before, and they have been all over the page with all manner of explanations and no detail. This lady, I must say it, the Senator of Kakamega, she has done a good job. And especially given the situation that she finds herself in, she has done a good job. We are human. We must not behave like people who don't know our history. This lady is mourning her husband, who was your colleague. It is time to encourage her. And there will be opportunity, Senator Kakamega, to dig in and push. For now, it is to give us some strength and comfort that, Madam CS, you have done well. This house, this is the house where your husband used to sit. He was our colleague. And we want to tell you, continue in that spirit and be strengthened. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Senate Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I have a question to the Minister with regards to our answer on individual loan products to women. Women entrepreneurs, Mr. Speaker, face very serious challenges. And women have to overcome more barriers than us men in terms of access to opportunities. I have seen in the Minister's response that this individual loan product that she talked about has been approved by the Women Enterprise Fund Credit Policy Committee, which is a good step. She has further told the House, Mr. Speaker, in her response, that this product will now be available in the next financial year, subject to the availability of funds. It will be important for us to tell the House how much they have requested from the budget that is presently before the National Assembly, Mr. Speaker, for us to know. Secondly, apart from the work that they do at the national level, is there any intention to collaborate the efforts of Women Enterprise Fund and our county governments to capacity build for our counties to ensure that I see many counties try to run enterprise programs for young people and for women. Given that Women Enterprise Fund has been the model institution in the country, and they have learned over the years how to do this better, what is at stake in terms of planning collaboration with our county governments? Lastly, Mr. Speaker, if you permit me, is also to make a comment like Senator Wambua, to congratulate the CS first on her appointment, secondly on her maiden appearance before this House, and to tell her that she has done well so far, and she should keep up the good work, ensuring that she turns up to Parliament like this when she is invited, and to appreciate that so far she has given a good account of herself. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Now, Honorable CS, just note down those questions because you'll take some more from Honorable Senators. The Honorable Senator Kavindu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to, first of all, start by congratulating Honorable CS for the good work that she's doing and telling her to keep it up and to be strong and help the women of this country. And I ask her what she's doing about the GBV in Machakos, if we have any houses she's planning to build in Machakos as a rescue centers for gender-based violence, women and girls. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Now, Honorable CS, that is not a supplementary question because it's not related to the primary questions. However, if you're in a position to respond, you may, but you're not obligated to respond to it now. Senator Kathuri Murungi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I also want to really encourage the CS Our performance is actually at 80% since this is the maiden appearance of the Senate. Honorable Speaker, I want to ask a supplementary question on the performance of the loan, Women Enterprise Fund. Performance of the loans disbursed since inception of Women Enterprise Fund to both the group loans and individual loans. And Mr. Speaker, since there has been a debate that there are so many funds out there, there is Women Enterprise Fund, Youth Enterprise Fund, Micro Small Enterprises, authority also has money giving to the small businesses. So whether the CS is comfortable or whether she supports corrupts of all these funds so that we can have one fund which is administered across bond so that, Mr. Speaker, we don't have so many funds across the country or in government, or whether she supports the corrupts of all these funds. Thank you.
Senator Karenyamu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just want to join my colleagues in congratulating the CS and tell her that her work is cut out for her. Of the women of Kenya, our expectations are very high on this docket, on her docket. We want her to think about her legacy and the impact this position is going to have on the women of Kenya, and to ignore the noise because public work can attract a lot of noise, but we support you. And anytime you need us to help you with any legislative proposal you may have, we are here to support you. Thank you.
Senator Veronica Maina.
Honorable CS, welcome to the House and congratulations. I am confident that you'll be able to carry out your mandate and you make all the women proud. I have a question supplementary to the question asked by Senator Catherine Muma. In your response, you have indicated that 1,180 groups have benefited, about 12,538 members under the revised Constituency Women Enterprise Scheme. Honorable CS, as you can very well see, so many women have been left out of that bracket. 12,538 is almost an underwhelming number. And when you look at the women and the role they have towards the family, towards the community, they make up over 50% of our population. And we now have very many women who are heading homesteads as single parents. And we have very many women who are in very vulnerable categories. What is the ministry doing to ensure that this fund is accessible to many more women and to ensure that the requirement for security, even by the formal banking sector, when women are borrowing, those requirements are being eased off to give women access to more finance and access to more loans to be able to do business and support their livelihoods and their families' livelihoods.
Senator Chute.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, let me take this opportunity to thank the CS for appearing before the Senate today, and also congratulate her for her appointment. And I wanted to tell Madam CS, the seat I am sitting on today was being occupied by Senator Cheptumo earlier. And your response was very good. Somebody gave you 80%. I'm giving you 90%. I have only one question. Madam CS, we had women from Marsabit who were trained about 6 months ago, from 6 months ago up to maybe a year. And I want you to visit Marsabit, if possible, and see how we can help the women of Marsabit County. As you are aware, Marsabit County is one of the most poorest counties, among the most poor counties in this republic. Kindly, karibu sana to Marsabit. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Senator George Mbugua.
Thank you, Speaker. CS, I would like you to tell this House what specific interventions your ministry has done to help women with disability access these loans on the digitized platform, and how many groups for women with disabilities have benefited. Thank you.
Senator Eddy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and good morning, CS. Let me also take this opportunity to congratulate you on your new role. And I must say that today I'm seeing the members of the House being very amicable and welcoming you to this House very amicably. But I must say that we as a House, in our oversight role, have faced a lot of challenges with a few CSS who sometimes are contentious with this House in terms of sometimes not honoring the invitations of this House. So I want to wish you the courage to veer from that path, even as you take this new role, that when we invite you to this House, I hope that the partnership will be that you also honor this House more than some CSS have done before. But that said, I just wanted to have a quick follow-up question. We had, as the CS in charge of cooperatives, and we were looking at the Hustlers Fund, I think last week. And one of the challenges that we had was that there is no framework that is clear in terms of proper follow-up on people paying for these monies. I wanted to ask you on this particular fund that you are administering, what is the framework to ensure that people actually do abide by being able to pay back where it is required, and making sure that there's an evaluation framework for the impact of those funds with these women? What are the metrics you're using to evaluate that this money is placed in a place that is ensuring that the return on investment on those funds as a government? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable CS, you may now proceed to respond.
Thank you very much, Speaker Sir, for those questions. I'll attempt to answer. The answers that we will not be able to give in full, we will commit. The first question was by the majority leader on how much we have requested through the budget, has been requested through the budget process, and the figure that we have is 4.5 billion. That is the amount. If approved and given, then it will be able to push this agenda. And the other issue is about the county collaboration. The web is trying as much as possible to deal and reach out to the county governments, because that is where majority of Kenyan populace are, and we can work very well only if we merge our issues or work together with the counties. And from the data that we have, web is in collaboration with Nairobi County, Uasin Gishu County, and Kilifi County. And for the other counties, we are engaging more. They are engaging more together with our help as the ministry to ensure that all those counties are also reached. The other question was by Senator Kathuri, if I got the name properly, sorry if I didn't get. The performance of the fund since inception. Since inception, the amount of money that has been disbursed is 27 billion to over 136,000 groups. The question, one of the questions which was asked was whether we support the merger. The challenge that is there with the merger is the specialized groups. Women, for example, have their special way of doing things. The other groups also have a special way. So if we merge without looking at the ripple effects, then most likely it will again go back to frustrating the efforts which have been made. And as one member said, these are the women have issues and they have specialized way of meeting their needs. And therefore it would be important that we pilot first before we completely merge, because it may actually kill the original objective. Senator Veronica Maina asked about the security that the groups are supposed to have. We are engaging the groups at the grassroots level, including the chiefs who know these women, and they can be able to help even when we are tracking the monies that have not been paid. And actually that is where we had a challenge when it comes to digitalization, because there wasn't a follow-up. But now the 10 members who belong to that group are known to the local administration. And that is almost the main security that we are looking at. And we have the officers who are monitoring and ensuring that we follow the repayment of that money almost on daily basis, because they are in contact, they have their records. Senator Mbugua asked the question about PWLD. We have this one. I would beg that I be allowed to get more details, because this is a group that has to be, dealt with very clearly. So I will be seeking for more clarification, although the answer that I have here is that we have a specific product, but we will design a product that will be specific. So allow me to follow up so that we get what is actually tailor-made specifically for these PWDs. On the issue of the recovery framework, the recovery framework is, they are looking at the physical visits and meetings of the individual borrowers. The group membership also guarantee themselves. And these people are being reached at the level in which they even understand the language. Because forms and these issues of borrowing are mostly in a language that sometimes may be difficult. How they can fill those forms, how they use that money, and how they repay back. So I think those are the answers that I have. In case there is anything that we have not clarified, then we shall be seeking for more time to respond. About Marsabit, yes, we commit to visit so that we can find out what is happening and how the women would want us to move together. So that one I can commit.
Senator Mazayo, what is your issue, Senator Veronica, before Senator Mazayo takes to the floor?
Maybe Honorable CS can take time and even bring the answer later. What the ministry is doing to make sure the fund is reaching many more women, especially seeing that those who have benefited here are very few. That's one of the questions I asked. And then on the issue of security, it was in respect of what the ministry is doing to ensure even the formal banking sector has reduced the need for security, the securities that women do not own, like titles, heavy securities that make it difficult for women to access, had more finance from formal banking sector. What is the ministry doing to ensure that those requirements are eased for women to make it easy to access credit?
Honorable Chairs, we'll take a couple of questions before you track to the stand to respond. Senator for Kilifi, Senator Mazayo.
Asante mstahiki Spika kwa kunipa nafasi hii. Swali langu kwa waziri ni kwanza nataka kupatia kongole kwa kuchaguliwa na rais kama waziri wa mambo ya jinsia, utamaduni katika nchi yetu ya Kenya. Ninao matumaini ya kwamba utafanya kazi inavyotakikana na utaweka bendera ya mume wako kama vile ilivyokuwa hapa, akifanya kazi kwa bidii na juhudi kuona kwamba amesaidia watu wake wa huko nyumbani. Swala langu mimi ni kama wizara yako iko na hesabu au data ambayo inaweza kuonyesha usaidizi wote wa akina mama katika taifa la Kenya ambao wanaweza kufikia yale masoko ambayo yanaweza kuwasaidia katika biashara yao. Asante. Asante.
Senator Abbas.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to also join my colleagues to congratulate the CS and want to thank the President for recognition of our ability for appointing us as CS. Honorable Speaker, one thing I have noted is that if we look at the amount of money that has been dispersed, it's more on the urban side. We are getting more money. You see, here like Nairobi is getting 236 million. Kiambu, 155 million. But of course, as you go far from Nairobi, even in your own hometown, Baringo, there are only 10 member groups. This shows that Wajir, if you go my own town, my own county, there are only 24 groups that took 5,550,000. This shows that, people are not getting access to the credit, to the fund, because of maybe lack of security. This country, it's more of a patriarchal country where men only rule and have on the title deeds. So I'm asking the CS, what is now that the security is not there for women, what other plan do you have, your minister have, so that at least the rural woman can be able to access credit from this fund?
Senator Tom Ojenda.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, I have a question. My question is question number 76.
No. Senators, kindly be attentive as we move forward. Senator Kisang.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I also want to join my colleagues to congratulate Anna for her appointment as the CS. Honorable Speaker, as my colleagues have said, maybe the CS needs to also do some more of civic education in the rural counties so that more of our women may take these particular funds to at least empower them economically, especially in the groups, so that they can develop. Honorable Speaker, I remember when I was the MB for Marakwet West, we worked very closely with the ministry to ensure more groups and also assist them to basically undertake projects that are more viable, that will give them a profit. So that's what we just want to ask her to maybe focus and go to the, use the officers on the ground to assist our women groups so that they can be empowered. Honorable Speaker, also, maybe as a government, they need to look at the Women Enterprise Fund and the Youth Enterprise Fund and the ASLA Fund. Is it possible, maybe at some stage, maybe it's good to merge them together into one serious empowerment fund to assist the youth and the women and the BWDs. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable CS, you may now proceed to respond.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for again giving me a chance to clarify, especially on the questions that have been asked earlier. So Senator Veronica asked about the issue of funding. To be able to reach many women, we require the funds. And that is the challenge that is there, considering that the amount of money that had been given earlier, most of it has not been repaid back, and it was supposed to be a revolving fund. However, if subject to availability of funds, we shall be able to lend to as many groups as possible, because you just require a group of 10 members, and they don't require any security. The security order number 7. No security that is required. Senator Madzayo, we have a department